Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1982's Taboo 2. And you're seeing Taboo 2 and 3 right here, but we're just looking at Taboo 2 right there. And the tagline is, "More than brother and sister, they were lovers." Taboo 2, 2 years later from the original film, we have this sequel. Let's get into this film right here tonight, folks. This has Dorothy LeMay back in here, and I will tell you that if you're a fan of Dorothy LeMay, this is Taboo 2 is the ultimate film for you. I have seen, she's in Sensual Encounters of Every Kind, which I've looked at on this YouTube page, also distributed by Vinegar Syndrome, and she's in Night Dreams. I would really say, which I've also looked at on this page, I would say Night Dreams and Taboo 2. If you're a fan of Dorothy LeMay, Night Dreams and Taboo 2 will be your go-to films. I haven't seen all of her films yet, but so far, oh wow, unbelievable. I got some notes written here for Taboo 2, so please feel, you're going to see my eyes divert, so feel free to not be too distracted by my eyes. I will tell you that Taboo 2, as well as the sequels, 1 and 3 and 4, which I'll be looking at on this YouTube page altogether, are films that were directed, produced, kind of written by a husband and wife. Very, very interesting. As a matter of fact, from the special features, their kids make an appearance in one of the sequels, I believe in part 4. So let's look at Taboo 2 here, folks. Let's get into it. This movie begins the way the Friday the 13th sequels begin, where you have a recap of the previous, of the original film. So really, really interesting. You have this recap that happens. And so it's kind of giving you this little time of a rundown of what has already taken place. We have 80s jazz in this film. We have continuing characters and expanding the story world, the universe of the Taboo world. We have a brother and sister in this film and the sexual tension between them. This is something that we did not see in the original Taboo. In this element of incest in the original Taboo. We have the brother's, quote, gross advances. It's what he wants. In many regards, the brother really is like the of Kay Parker's best friend, from the original, and she's also back in the sequel. Sadly, not in 3 or 4, Aunt Peg, but she's kind of replaced in 3 and 4, and we'll get into that in the future videos. We have this opening driving sequence with a convertible. It's beautiful outside. It's sunny. It just looks great. The mom in part 2, Kay Parker, she really seems sexually free in this film. She has an openness to younger guys now, possibly based on the world of her son from the original. The mom and her best friend. There's this amazing scene involving massage and lesbianism. Quote, "With a body like yours, you should share it with other people," end quote. Lesbianism is the theme here. Lesbianism is just another part of sexuality. We have dirty talk, sexy, explicit talk, friends' advice, hot massage leading to sex with a young guy. We have young guys who want older women in Taboo 2. Bass-driven, funky, soothing vibes. Really kind of, there's a theme in Taboo 2 here that you're hearing that will be repeated in some of the sequels. The uncovering of mysteries from part 1. Comedy and drama and great acting and dialogue and pacing. Just unbelievable, truly just professional. The family of the son's girlfriend from part 1 is now explored. And Dorothy LeMay playing the son's girlfriend from part 1, and she's in here, and now we're getting into her life. So it's unpacking, like a true sequel, like a true Friday the 13th sequel, unpacking and moving into the next world. If Taboo 1 was a movie dealing, playing with camera focus, Taboo 2 is a movie playing with shadows. Taboo 2 is a movie of shadows. It's almost like a horror movie at times. brother pursuing sister. You know, the sister definitely has the youth. If you love the, you know, the schoolgirl vibe, you love the 18, 19 vibe, that barely legal type of vibe, you're going to love Dorothy LeMay's character in this film. The sister needs a new car from her dad. You know, you have this vibe here. The brother forcing touches and grabs from his sister. These forced sexual advances from brother to sister. Something that you probably haven't typically seen too much in cinematic worlds, maybe except for Amityville Horror 2, but in a totally different context. Yes, the incest, when done in the horror world, is quite different and probably not as dangerous as when it's done in the sex film world. And the reason for that is, well, what do you think? It's because when you have incest in the sex film world, it's not necessarily like the film is going against the acts, or that the acts are meant to be a horror element or a dark element or an element that's trying to repulse you or shock you. Okay, whereas in these films, they can bring about sexuality to the viewer. They can bring about sexual fervor, or horniness, masturbation, so on and so forth. So it puts it in a whole new dangerous world, dangerous cinema. The brother's girlfriend in this film, you know, really that sexual freedom, there's also sex with the sister. The brother's girlfriend having sex with the sister, which leads to incest. What makes incest? Okay. The brother's girlfriend in this film is really hot. She was in an X-rated film, The Erotic Adventures of Lolita, I believe. I'm going to look at that in the future on this YouTube page, but I believe she's in there. Really has that youth element. As a matter of fact, Taboo 2 really has the young girl vibe. If you love that, you're going to love it, as I said before. And the brother's girlfriend definitely has it. I don't know if this was her first film, but I believe she is advertised in the trailer for Taboo 2 as like that she modeled in a magazine. I think they actually called her like a fuck box or something like that. But that she was a model in some nudie magazine. I don't know if it was Penthouse or Hustler, but she looks amazing. The brother has sexual fervor. I mean, he really has he has the sexual fervor of Kay's best friend. From Taboo 1 and now Taboo 2. He just wants what he wants no matter what. Definitely great emphasis in Taboo 2 on blowjobs. We have very comedic dialogue, outrageous, shocking, truly taboo. Truly taboo dialogue. Again, we just like part 1, we have some Carpenters sounding like classic rock from the 70s with lyrics. We have a sexually frustrated wife. A husband is, a sexually frustrated wife. The husband is work obsessed and into younger women. When the husband and wife do have sex, it doesn't please the wife. We have the element of voyeurism once again in this film. We have a brother blaming his sister for looking sexy. The interesting thing is that in our modern times, that dialogue is different. You know, in our modern culture, the woman is never at fault, and the man is the one at fault. And as we have it here in Taboo 2 as part of the storyline, the brother and the parents are telling the daughter, "You're arousing your brother." And once again, kind of a common theme is what leads to incest, what makes incest, what makes horniness, what makes it, is it uncontrollable, is it a fire? Watch my video for Taboo 1, and is it unstoppable, and would the brother have wanted to have sex with the sister if she dressed differently? Okay, something to definitely consider and look at in this film. I think it's awesome. I think it's so great, the scenes like this, as we look at it, because we won't get scenes like this in our modern films. They won't even release him anymore. It's very sad. But we have a scene like this, which works great in this film. The daddy's girl toy film, and a weird scene where the daughter sees her daddy with the girl. It's a very, very weird scene, and you'll see what I mean. The way the daughter reacts to it all, very bizarre. Like it's happened before, or she knows about it, or something, or the family is not as normal as you think they are. With this great, great lesbian scene with two girls in a hot tub, very 80s, very amazing, very sunny outside. Almost reminded me a bit of what would, of that shot on video film from the 80s called Boarding House. Lesbian scene on a couch, two schoolgirls, amazing scene. Something happens here where a fantasy reality trick happens for the viewer, for you and I. It's very well done. It's like fantasy or reality or both. We're blue balling the incest between the brother and the sister. It takes its time in development in Taboo 2, and when it happens, it is absolutely, an explosion, literally and figuratively. Being mad at yourself because you like something taboo, maybe being mad at yourself because you like this movie. That's a theme here. The lack of sexy in marriage. Repeated sex. If you like it, do it again. Okay. If you like something, have at it. Do it a lot. Versus now, especially in our modern times, you'll hear a lot of stuff about sex addiction and things like that. Here, we have a theme of if you like something, do it a lot. And, quote, this is incest. And then the other person says, quote, that's what makes it so good. That'd be a great tagline for the movie, wouldn't it? Quote, what it makes us do the things we shouldn't do. Sorry, I'm screwing that up. There's a song in the film that has the lyric, something along the lines of when it makes you do the things we shouldn't do, or what if it makes you do the things we shouldn't do. So it's very interesting. The music with lyrics in these films, and all the Taboo films, and Taboo 2, really, it's like they were written for this film. Not library music, professionally, just like a big budget Hollywood film. They were written for the film. Like when Hollywood puts out like soundtracks, where the bands were propositioned just to make music for that particular film. That's what it's like here. Extremely hot scene in sister's bed. We have shots of the butt, shots of vagina, blowjob, Dorothy LeMay all the way. The dialogue is very, very dirty. If you love dirty talk, you're going to love the movie here. Birds chirping throughout this film, by the way. There are birds chirping. Kay's friend and her connection to the new family that's represented in this film, the brother's girlfriend's family. We have editing of simultaneous happenings in different locations and kind of going back and forth there. Very well done. Look at Dorothy LeMay's nails in this film. I really like them. Her fingers, her nails. Some reason I really like them. Lots of close-up intercourse and angles in this film. Intense brother and sister sex scenes in this movie. We have a mother's revelation of incest in here. And this is a film of revelations where they were first mysterious secrets. There's an amazing scene in this film of preparing to tell someone insane news. How do you prepare to tell someone something extremely difficult? It's a great section in this film. We have great jazz music in here and saxophone music in here. We have a lonely wife in the film, and a mother-son sex scene spurred on by dancing and revelation once again. One act has influence on spurring on other acts. The son takes the lead in this film sexually, with influencing other people around him. Very, very interesting. This, you know, you could look at a theme in Taboo 2 of sexual influence. This film has people getting rid of inhibitions, and it's glorious to watch. The sex angles underneath and all around and close. Amazing sex scenes in Taboo 2. I mean, seriously, they're just amazing. If you like X-rated cinema, you have to see Taboo. You have to see Taboo 2. There's a sex orgy party in this film as well. Lesbian, all different ages, incest, psychedelic funk, hard driving rock, jazz. Kay is in this orgy. And you kind of compare that to part 1's orgy. Kay is still connecting to her son's world. There's voyeurism. Quote, there's a song that quotes this thing, feels so good. There's a you know, a quote in this piece of music that plays, feels so good. It's like sexy jazzy rock song. There's daughter to dad seduction in this film. There's amazing daughter to dad scene while the mom is still in the bed. It's an unbelievable scene of shadows and sexuality. And it's extremely, like I said, the sex scenes in this movie, wow. And the movie closes, you know, allowing, once again, seemingly allowing another sequel. And the movie closes with the concept, with a dangerous, dangerous concept of a marriage getting better. Can a marriage get better as a result of incest? Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like 1982's Taboo 2 from Vinegar Syndrome. Please feel free to check out the other Taboo videos, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and all my other videos in this YouTube page of movies that I think need to be talked about more. Also, you can check out my own personal films at youtube.com/poopy, Poopy, diarrhea. Thank you so much, and good night.